your consultant Paul, and you also have Christine, who's with RDI.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting.
Order then at 7:31 p.m. A little delayed due to technical difficulties, but we'll proceed along. And this is the continuation of a comprehensive permit application pursuant to MGL Chapter 40B, Section 5, 6, and 8 Care Drive. The applicant's Berkshire Design Group on behalf of Rural Development, Inc.
And the agenda here is to review and discussion of comprehensive permit application. Same chapter and verse I just mentioned. I would like to ask before we proceed that we have in the record if Holly and Dennis would vote to agree to have me participate remotely.
I make a motion to allow Dan Hammock, Chair of the ZBA, to participate remotely.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm sorry, I didn't hear Holly.
Oh, aye.
Okay, all right. Sure. Mr. Chair, this is Paul.
not sure if that's one I
Your
vote
roll
on or
call
not.
vote because you're doing
Doesn't
it
matter.
remotely. Okay, Dennis Swansea? All votes should be by a roll call. All right, Dennis Swansea?
I second the motion.
Oh, does that the vote? Yes. If that's
The
how
vote,
you
yes.
vote. And Holly Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
And Dan Hammock, yes. Okay, thank you, Paul. You're welcome. Okay, at this point, we do have on here review of minutes. I'd like to just postpone those so we can proceed because we've had this delay. And I would suggest that we proceed with whatever presentation folks have for us. But also, unless things have changed, our consultant, Paul, got the information from the peer review consultants a day or two before Christmas, and it's not able, I don't believe, to have a full review of those, plus whatever was discussed at the Conservation Commission. I'm believing that the ZBA would like to give our consultant enough time to consider everything and then give us a draft, more questions if there are any, or a draft decision as soon as that's available. Does that sound acceptable to everybody?
Dan, which consultant are you talking about? Are you talking about Paul Haverty or about BSC, Dominic, who's here?
All right, I believe that the Dominic's information was given to Paul Haverty just a day or two before Christmas. It might have been the day before Christmas. And Paul, you're here, you can speak for yourself, but it's my understanding there's not adequate time to review that stuff between the day before Christmas and today. Is that correct?
That is correct. I did receive it. I am working on a draft decision, but it's not quite ready yet.
Oh, okay. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but it looks like we will leave this hearing open at the end of our discussion today, and once again vote to reconvene at a time, date, and place certain in the future to hopefully wrap this up. We hope. But for now, unless there's a different approach, I think we'd like to hear what the consultants and applicants have to say.
Do you all want to come to the table again, like you did for?
Do you want us to come, or do you want to say something?
If you don't mind, I'd like to just, I'd like to invite you guys to come up as well. I think I just want to better understand, I'm not sure I heard what the concern was via Paul.
Can you just tell me your name again?
Sure, Gina Gavoni, Executive Director, Rural Development, Inc.
And the question is for Paul Haverty?
Yes.
Okay.
What is the question?
I couldn't hear you earlier, Paul. I think it's just either my hearing or the phone, and I just wanted to hear what your process is and what concern you had, if any.
Oh, I didn't have a specific concern. I just got a copy of the peer review letter just before Christmas. I have not had the time to fully review that and incorporate it into a draft decision. I am working on a draft decision. My hope is to have it done by the end of next week, and then I can circulate it for everybody to review. But at this time, it's just not quite ready.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome. And I would hope also, maybe I misunderstand the whole process, but a little bit here, but we may, Paul may glean some additional things from the presentation that you put on tonight of a question. I don't know that, but I expect that might happen.
Great. Thank you. I'm Gina, as I said earlier, and I'm joined here by Berkshire Design Group. Austin Design, our architect, is also here with us tonight. And we, I think, should probably start off with just reviewing the comments and the feedback from BSC. Dominic is also here with us tonight, that we just reviewed with the Conservation Commission just before this meeting. I think there were no substantial comments. I was pleased to hear the feedback and the conversation that there was largely agreements on those items that were noted. So during that meeting, during the Conservation Commission meeting, there we are. Very clear. We elected to just review those items that we thought were most substantive. So perhaps if the committee is inclined, we could take the same approach.
Yep.
That sounds
Okay.
great.
Okay.
And
So
Dominic, do you want to sit here?
Sure.
And we'll scoot over.
You just want to be out of the picture.
I can be out of the picture as well. I don't know that I'm truly needed for this. Well, we're just making
you're
room.
already here.
Okay.
We have the
All right.
seats.
Great.
Yes, for the record, good evening. Dominic Rinaldi with the BSC Group, the peer reviewer, on behalf of both the Conservation Commission and the ZBA, really for stormwater management. That was a good summary. So we had on December 2nd issued a letter. There were 25 items, most of which were, some confirming some of the work they did, some looking for a little more clarification. And on December 23rd, the applicant's team responded with a nice, concise letter. I did have time today. I didn't have time yet to write something up, but I did get a chance to go through it. As they stated, sort of the two items I pointed out to the Conservation Commission, which aren't, I think we're in good shape, but I just felt compelled to point them out because they're sort of the ones out of here that were probably the most substantive things, which didn't actually change the design any, are items 10 and 11 in our letter. Number 10 had to do with when they did their test pits on site. It was late May. Drought condition had just been lifted, so they provided a bunch of information confirming that one, groundwater levels at that period were back to or above normal condition, provided some information about monitoring wells on site, near the site, etc., that show that does indeed confirm that groundwater is very deep on this site, so it is not impactful to the stormwater design. So it's just confirming that, and some of that data they had submitted. I'm going to just suggest they submit anything on this list that wasn't in the package that they just resubmitted just gets put in really for the record to confirm that data. And then number 11 had to do with test pit quantities, the number of test pits. In DEP's design standards for infiltration basins, they require a minimum of 3 test pits within the limits of every basin. They didn't quite have that, but as they said, and as the Conservation Commission agreed, and I agree too, the information that's available is very consistent across this site. It's a sandy material, Groundwater's deep. There's very little change from test pit to test pit, very little change. They also submitted a bunch of boring logs from a recently prepared geotech report. They have information from when this facility was built, the facility next door, and everything is really, really consistent. So even though it doesn't quite get to the exact specifics of that DEP requirement, I think everybody was in the commission, the Conservation Commission was very comfortable, and I have no issues with moving forward with the information they have. And one of the things we had suggested is we might include a condition that when they start construction and they've set up their erosion control and clearing, maybe get a couple more test pits in those exact locations just to confirm. I can't guarantee anything, unfortunately, in life, but it's probably exactly what they've already found out there. So really, those were the two. Everything else was some additional information, some clarification, some minor tweaks. I think unless you really dig into the plans, you're not even gonna notice that they changed. But they did make some changes that are really, I don't want to call it changes, more additions, clarifications, probably. Like the design didn't really change, just, as I mentioned during the Conservation Commission hearing, they clearly showed how these basins will be maintained, like how the access down to them so they can be maintained, and a few other items like that.
So I just want to make sure that I understood. I was at the Conservation Committee meeting, and I want to make sure I understood. I took some notes. So the commission talked about that they were okay with the decision to wait, and the only caveat would be if someone appealed to the DEP about the lack of the test pits, and then they would have to be done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, realistically, if Conservation Commission issues an order of conditions sort of with the data they have, and someone did appeal, that appeal goes to DEP, DEP is going to look and say, oh, you need to have at least 3 test pits in every one of these locations, and you don't, and they would just make them do it.
Okay.
Frankly, if someone appeals to DEP, this whole thing is getting delayed enough anyway.
Right.
They're very smart. As soon as it gets appealed to DEP, I imagine they just go dig the test pits before DEP asks for them. So by the time they do, they just hand them over.
And if I remember correctly, Gina, you brought up that the DEP, when they had looked at some of this before, they did not flag it as an issue.
Correct.
correct.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
at least
correct.
somebody did.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
received comments from DEP and they did not talk about quantities or locations of test pits. They
Okay.
were satisfied.
Okay. Thank you.
Could I just ask a question? It may or may not be in the purview of the ZBA. I don't know, but I'll ask the question anyways. It's in the report, as I read it, there were perhaps 3 places where the consultant asked for some different processes to be used. And I did see about the groundwater's 45 feet or 95 feet, or it didn't seem to be a concern. In a couple of places, there was some discussion about, do you need a pond or not, as I'm recalling, where all the questions, without going into detail line by line, were all the questions that the consultant had. I'm asking the consultant, is Dominic is your name? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Did they satisfy all the things that you asked them for?
Yes, I believe they did.
Okay.
So, and like I said, I will in the next day or two be actually formalizing that into a letter back for the town.
Okay. I mean, all the things that I saw were things that I'm not qualified to determine if they're correct or not. I'll leave that to you folks who know the technical aspect of it. But as long as the questions were answered, that's why you're hired, I believe, is to get things done the way they're supposed to be done. Okay. Is there more of a presentation to be made tonight, or more questions from Paul or Dennis or Holly? Anybody?
I had one item to note to add, is that since we last met, we had the opportunity to meet with this town's Care Drive design team for the road right-of-way utilities. We had a really productive meeting with them, and town officials were there also. And so we were able to incorporate that utility design into our design to tie in at the right of way.
Okay, so at this point, as far as we know, there are no unanswered questions or disputes of any kind between conservation consultants and the town layout people who are doing the road work stuff. No disputes or questions that we're aware of. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear an answer.
Correct.
Correct.
Oh, okay, okay, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Mr. Chair, can I ask Dominic a question?
Oh, absolutely, sure.
There's Paul.
Dominic, were you planning on providing a written response to the updated peer review?
Yes, Paul. So, sorry, I don't know if you'd hear that through the phone. Yeah, in the next day or two, I'm going to get a formalized response clarifying that, yes,
Sure.
these do indeed address all of our
Can
concerns.
I ask that you include any suggested conditions that you have in that response so then I can refer to them in drafting the decision?
Yep, that was a request from the Conservation Commission as well, so that was the plan.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I don't want to cut anybody short. I want everyone to have opportunity to say whatever or ask whatever they want. However, no reason for us to stay here till midnight. If everything we can accomplish tonight has been accomplished, other than looking at the minutes, might we work on when, depending on when Paul gets the information from Dominic, when might we reschedule or recess to keep this hearing open until a date, time, and place certain in the future?
Just one more point of clarification from the Conservation Committee meeting. They did issue the NOI, they approved it, and so they have 21, if I'm understanding.
If memory serves me right, again, don't quote me on that. It's
Okay.
in the regulations, but I believe it's 21 days from when they vote to issue an order of conditions to actually issuing it.
Okay, so
And I
they are planning
think
on meeting
that's-
next week.
Maybe next Tuesday.
Over 20.
And they're hoping to be able to get enough from Dominic by then to do the next, and to work on the next step that they need. And it sounds like, maybe I'm not totally understanding, but are the conditions that they have, do we incorporate them into, Paul, I guess I'm asking Paul, do we incorporate that into what comes out of the ZBA plus any additional stuff that's beyond the scope of the Conservation Committee go into our conditions?
The only conditions that you would include as it relates to wetlands is if there's anything that's relating to the local wetlands bylaw. Any of the conditions that are applicable to the Wetlands Protection Act are within the purview of the Conservation Commission.
Right.
But if they have suggested conditions that are based on your local wetlands bylaw, then we would need to include them as conditions.
Okay, so that's them. But what are you working on for us?
I'm working on the draft comprehensive permit decision.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
So Dan, I'm good with coming up with another date if everyone else is. Oh, Brian has something.
The question I've asked is
Okay.
how much time does Paul need
Right.
so that we make sure that we have enough time for Dominic to respond
And Paul
for
to
Paul to
respond.
have this time to review.
Paul said he would have something by end of next week.
And then next week.
I believe so. Paul, didn't you say you were planning on getting us something by end of next week?
Correct.
Right. So by end of next week, what date would that be for you?
January 9th.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Now, when you send this draft decision, is this something that the applicant reviews at all, or it just is what it is?
It's up to the discretion of the board, but I'd like to have the applicant review it. It's helpful to get their input while the process is still open.
Okay, I mean, that's fine with me. I mean, if we have to have another meeting or two, that's okay. I'm quite sure we don't want to delay things for no reason. We also want to take adequate time to be sure everyone's concerns are dealt with. So if you have the decision to us and to Dominic and the applicants by the 9th, they need, I assume, some short while to review, and we should schedule a meeting 15th, 17th, something or other. I don't know.
The week of the 12th is,
17th is a Saturday, so that's not
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I don't have the calendar here, so.
The 11th is a
Monday is the
Sunday.
12th,
Monday's the
so,
12th.
yeah. I think as long as we have 48 hours of review time, we'd be happy to schedule something. As I mentioned during the Conservation Commission meeting, this is a critical time for us in terms of moving our funding application forward, so we don't want to delay.
We've been meeting on Wednesdays, could I suggest maybe the 14th?
That works. Because the 12th is budget, some kind of budget thing.
We have a very late budget meeting that night, yes.
Sounds like fun.
Somewhere around
That
Martin
is-
Luther King Day is coming up.
That's the
That's the
following-
ninth.
That's the
following
following
week.
week, yep.
So the 14th? Is that
Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 14th?
If that works for everyone else.
It's great.
I see a lot of
All right, we
nodding
do that.
heads, Dan.
Dennis and Olin? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I see a lot of nodding heads, Dan.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll nod mine too. Then the 14th is 7 p.m. So I'd like a motion to, we will leave this hearing open, but to recess until January 14th, 7 p.m. At the Senior Center.
Senior and Community Center, please.
Senior Community Center, yes, I'm sorry.
Great.
Second.
Okay. Is there any other discussion about that? Just before we before we vote on that, is it all right that we postpone the reading of the minutes until that time?
Sure.
Yes?
Is that okay with you, Dennis?
That-
Craig?
Yes.
Everybody here's in agreement.
Okay. Then all in favor of recessing this hearing until the 14th at 7 p.m. at the Senior Community Center? Have a roll call vote. Dennis Wanzi
I'm in favor, yes.
and Holly Fitzgerald, I'm sorry.
It's Fitzpatrick, yes.
Fitzpatrick.
My mother calls me
I'm do-
Fitzgerald, don't worry.
I'm doing well tonight. Holly Fisk went to school with my daughter. It's a different person altogether.
Craig?
And Dan Hammock, aye. So we voted to do that. We are in recess. And thank you all for your patience. We'll certainly endeavor to move this along as quickly as we can.
I make a motion we recess this meeting for tonight.
Second motion.
All right. That's motion and second. All in favor? Dennis Wanzi,
Aye.
Holly Fitzpatrick,
Yep. Yes.
and Dan Hammock, aye.
Oh, and Craig gets to vote on that.
Yeah, on that.
Pardon me?
Craig gets to vote on that.
Okay. Hi, Craig. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you there. I can't see
that's
anything.
okay.
And I didn't hear you.
That's okay.
Okay. So Craig Kosmeskis? Aye?
Aye.
Okay. All right. I guess we're done. And I thank you again for your patience with taking a half an hour to try to get me onto the meeting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.